Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Happy Black Friday. Can everyone hear me out there first and foremost? And thank you for joining me so far today. What's up, everybody? So first, let me know if you can hear me okay, see me okay, all that good stuff. I think we all should be good. Let me know where you're from. I want to know where you're from. Check in. I want to know what you're working on, what you're from. That's right, no birds. That's right. Thanks for joining, man. Thanks for joining. Welcome, everybody. Awesome. Looks like everything's sounding good. Give it a few moments just for everyone to kind of trickle in here. But again, thank you all for being early, on time, and really looking forward to this live stream today. We got a lot of cool stuff that I'm prepared to show, and it's a really, really great machine that we're going to start learning on, and that I'm still learning on myself, but I want to share with everybody here. All right, so it looks like everyone's hearing me okay. So we got Dawn. What's up, Dawn? From British Columbia, Canada. Thanks for joining. And then Twisted Prince 3D, thanks for joining us again today, man. I appreciate it. Vancouver, Washington. Hey, Lori, what's up? I'm glad you made it. Thanks for being here. Another Lori, Lori C. Hi from North Dakota. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Derek, how's it going from Nebraska? And we got Mar from North Dakota as well. And Harvey. Hey, Harvey, Milwaukee. Doing Christmas stuff. All right, yeah. I'm going to be doing that after this. Maybe set up the tree. I don't know. Scott, what's up, Scott, from Texas, Houston. Steven, welcome, Steven, Lakeland, Florida. Hey, Brady, Charlotte, North Carolina. And we got Doug Stevens from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And Trent Taylor from Kentucky. Oh, just another one popped up. Bolfon Cabrera from Marysville, Washington. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. All right. Well, I'll let everyone kind of get settled in. I'm sure we're going to get more people trickling in through the broadcast today. But just, again, want to welcome everybody here to Monport's Black Friday sale event live stream. Really looking forward to this. You know what? I did this last year with Monport, and I guess I didn't screw it up bad enough. They asked me to come back to do it one more year. So I'm very happy to do that, and looking forward to having a good time tonight. We're going to be taking a look at this new laser here. What do you say? So this is the Reno Pro 45 from Monport. Just a really cool machine. I've had it for about a week, just kind of getting the lay of the land with it right now, and got a bunch of projects that I got set up for everybody here tonight. And we're just going to have a little fun. We're going to run some jobs. We'll talk lasers. So if you got any questions, comments, really about anything, CO2 lasers, galvo lasers, diode lasers, whatever, any type of lasers, just let me know. I'd maybe be able to help you out. And, you know, if you got light burn questions or really anything laser related, even business questions, you know, just put it out there. We're also going to be doing a couple giveaways. So does that sound good? We've got a few Lightburn Pro licenses that we're going to be giving away. We've got three Lightburn Pro licenses. And if you're not familiar with what a Lightburn Pro license is, what that is Lightburn's license that encompasses all three of their different products that they sell. So Lightburn has a G-code license, which is for diode lasers. They have a DSP license for machines like the Reno Pro 45, which covers your Ruida controller type machines. And then finally, they have the Galvo license. So you need each one of those licenses depending on what machine you're running. But the Pro brings all of those licenses together in one package. So that's a $200 value. We're going to give away 3 today. And I'll tell you what, we're going to be doing that sooner than later. We also have the grand prize for tonight. We're going to be giving away this machine right here, the Reno Pro 45 from Monport. So that's a 45 watt CO2 laser, desktop style, brand new on the market, just being shipped just probably like last week or a week and a half ago. They started going out to everybody. So it's a new thing on the market, but really cool laser, and we're going to learn a lot about it today. So we might even do a few more giveaways. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. But again, thank you for Monport for sponsoring all of these gifts and for making this live stream possible today. Everyone, I'm sure, really appreciates. I know I really appreciate it. Monport's been really stepping up their game lately, and that brings me to the next thing that I'm going to talk about, or that I'm going to tease a little bit here. Not only are we going to learn about this laser and everything it can do and learn some projects and talk lasers, but Monport also has a brand new laser other than this one called the Mega Laser coming out. And that's going to be shipping in about a week or so. And we're going to be taking a sneak peek at that if you want to learn more about what that laser is all about. It's a desktop CO2 laser, 70 watts. It's pretty crazy. So we'll be looking at that in more detail. So, do me a favor, keep checking in. Let me know where you're from if you haven't already. If you have any questions, go ahead and type them whenever. I'm going to be monitoring the chat and kind of putting some of the comments to the side. I'll star them so that way I can come back to them later. If I don't answer your question and maybe it seems like I forgot or something or didn't look back at it, just type it again. No big deal. Kind of remind me. Just want to let you know, too, that for the giveaways, I'm going to be doing you're going to have to type in a keyword into the chat. And just so you know, you only have to type in that keyword one time. It's going to be one entry per person. And, if you spam it a bunch of times, it doesn't give you more chances or anything like that. It just kind of clogs up the chat. So, but other than that, I like that giveaway tool. It works really good. I think it gives everyone a nice fair shot, and it's really easy to use too. So I like it. So only going to type in that once. Okay, so you know what? Let's give something away. Let's give away a Lightburn license right now. Let's try that out because I'm thankful to everyone for being here on time and listening to me blab for like 5 minutes right there. So let's do a giveaway. So go ahead and type in #Lightburn. Go ahead and type in #Lightburn in the chat. And Lori, I see your question. I just started so I can come back to that. #Lightburn. And another thing, while we're all typing in #Lightburn right now, since you're kind of in that area doing the chats, go ahead and give this live stream a thumbs up right now. Subscribe to Monport's channel. If you're watching on my channel, make sure you subscribe to my channel as well. Those likes and subs really help out, push this content to other creators out there that are looking for it because, it just, the algorithm helps, or it's just the algorithm that, looks for those likes and subs. And if a lot of people are doing it all at once, it just kind of pushes these videos out. So we want more people to see this machine. We want more people to learn about lasers, right? So go ahead and hit that like button. Okay, and just a reminder for all the giveaways tonight, you got to be present to win. Okay, no problem. We're going to be going for at least an hour. So I'm going to do the giveaways within an hour, just so you know. If people want to stay more than that, I am happy to stay for longer to answer questions. I've got a lot of projects lined up. I've got a ton of different things that we can do. So I am all good to stay, but I want to be respectful of everyone's time as well. I'm not going to make you sit here for 2 hours before I go ahead and give the laser away. So I want to let you know that after 1 hour, we're going to do the main giveaway for this bad boy right here. So again, type in #Lightburn. Just give it a few more seconds here. We're going to give away 3 of these. I want to do one right off the bat here, though. And I'm going to go ahead and answer this. Let's see. I got a good question here. Where to go? Don. Okay. We'll get back to Monport making lasers, but giveaways are open to really all around the world. So obviously the Lightburn license key is just a digital file. So they're going to send that. Monport's just going to email that to you. They're going to give you a code or whatever to do that. For the laser and anything else that we may give away today that you have to ship, it's coming directly from Monport. So anywhere that Monport ships a laser to is where this contest is open. So, hey, as far as I know, I've been told there's no restrictions. Anywhere that they send stuff to, hey, you got a shot at winning. It's a good question. All right. So let's give away one Lightburn license key. I'm going to share my screen here. Okay, here we go. We've got 29 entries. And the winner is RL. RL. Congratulations, RL. Are you here? RL, you are all right. Good job. All right, congratulations. So for all winners, also I'm going to put this up on the screen right now. So if you win something, email me at brett@arcshop.us. The prizes are going to come from Monport, but I want to help you. I want to first verify that we're giving it to the right person, and I want to make sure that you get your stuff. Okay, so which, of course, there's no question that you would, but I just want to help you. So RL, go ahead and send me an email, brett@arcshop.us. I'm going to have this on the screen a few more times. All right. Let me get back to the chat here. All right, congratulations, RL. All right, so let's start using this laser a little bit. I got a project queued up. Let me share my screen again. I'm going to bring in the Lightburn here. We're going to do some Christmas stuff, right? Because it's almost Christmas. You know, who here's making Christmas stuff in the chat? If you are, let me know, and let me know what you're making. I'm going to bring you over to Lightburn here. Get the right layout. I guess that's fine. That'll do, right? Okay, so here's a couple tags that I have. So these are tags for, you know, stockings. You could make these maybe a little bit smaller. You can do these for present tags, all sorts of different stuff. A lot of different possibilities here. Fairly easy file, you know, vector file. You got a little bit of engraving. The blue's engraving. The black is our line. I'm going to go ahead and select both of my items, and I'll verify my settings here. So for my fill layer, which I'm going to do first, I'm at 350 millimeters a second and 30% power with a 0.1 millimeter line interval. That looks good. I'm going to fill shapes all at once. And then for my cut settings, I'm going to do at 7 millimeters a second at 45% power. And we'll talk more about how I got to those settings. But if you were here joining me last night, there's a few people in the chat I know that were here. You know, I went through a couple hours last night and just went through settings, did material test cards. I'm going to show more of them later in the broadcast. But you know, you gotta test your own specific material with your own specific laser, right? So we'll get into that more later. But that's how I came up with my settings here. I'm going to switch you over to our laser bed camera here. So I've got 1/4 inch or about 5 millimeter MDF core plywood in there with a walnut veneer. And I'm just going to scan the laser head to the middle here real quick. I'm going to show you guys how this autofocus works. So here's our autofocus probe, and it's not an autofocus in a traditional sense that where it's got an electronic probe that presses and trips a sensor. This is a magnetic, excuse me. This is a magnetic plunger. So what you're going to do is you're going to pop that down. And it's kind of, if you're familiar with diode lasers, it's kind of similar to how a diode laser with like we'll have maybe like a kickstand or some sort of gauge that you put underneath it that flips down. It's kind of like that. So you put the plunger down, and I'm going to raise the bed here. And I'm just going to slowly raise this until the plunger pops up. And now I know I'm in focus. If you want to verify that, the machine also ships with a typical step gauge. And the normal focus point on this laser is 10 millimeters. It's got it marked on the gauge. So if you put that underneath, I can verify that I'm at 10 millimeters. So it's a pretty cool focus tool because it's not going to break, right? Okay, I'm going to set my origin to the upper left corner because on Lightburn, I am running all of this as user origin. So I have my job starting on the top left. I got my green dot here telling me that this is where the job's going to start. And we'll go ahead and give this a frame. And drop the lid. Let's go ahead and start the job. So as we're watching this go, I'm going to go back to some comments. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to star a few other comments here so I can make sure to come back to them. Cool. So Lori, you're making dog ornaments? Okay, that's cool. I actually have a dog ornament project that we'll do next. So let me know what you're doing specifically. I'm curious. And Mar, you're making Christmas earrings. Cool. Very nice. I know those are big sellers. Ornaments as well. I see Dawn, you're making ornaments also. And they're overtaking your room. I know what that feels like. Nicole, you're making ornaments also? Cool, a lot of ornaments. Look, I mean, this is the time for ornaments, right? I mean, this stuff, it's crazy right now. So a machine like this with a 12-inch by 16-inch bed, really, you can fit quite a bit on there, to be honest. I mean, having a big bed is, it's beneficial, but having, this size, and I'm going to show you some larger projects that I'm going to do later, but here's, for example, here's this Santa tray I made. So I did this off camera because it took about 25 minutes to engrave. I didn't think anyone wanted to watch it for that long. So this is just a pine board. I CNC these blanks, put a couple hand grabs on them. And these are really popular as well. But this is, let me see here. This is 15 by 10 and a half. So you can do a lot of projects on a 12 by 16-inch bed. It's a really, really good size. So Richard, you've been making live edge black walnut Christmas ornaments. Wow. Cutting from trees in my backyard. Awesome. Awesome. What machine are you running, Richard? I see a bunch of questions about the Mega. Don't worry, we're going to get to that. Don't worry. Ready for review. So I'll get into this a little bit right now, but the Mega is going to be shipping in, oops. The Mega should be shipping, I think, in about a week. And maybe if someone from Monport's on, they can clarify that a little bit more. But I think about a week and a half, they should start being sent out. And I know I'm going to be receiving one so that I could take a look at it and show you guys all what it's all about, make some videos on it and stuff. We're also going to be doing a live stream in a couple weeks once I get the Mega and we're able to play around with it and stuff. So you'll see live what it's all about. But should be ready in a couple weeks at the latest. So Harvey, you're making several small homes and ornaments for Christmas. Okay, nice. Hey, Nicole, so you're from Germany. Awesome. What's up, your life? How you doing? I remember you. We're checking out the Reno Pro 45 watt desktop glass tube CO2 laser. So stick around. We're going to be giving stuff away. If you haven't heard, if you're just joining us, we're going to be giving this laser away. Not this laser that I have in my house right now, but it's actually being shipped to you from Monport. So it's going anywhere that Monport ships lasers. So Bad Brad, what's up, man? So we will be talking about this more and you will see firsthand what this thing is all about. But I do believe that this is a very, very good starter machine. So one of the benefits of getting a CO2 laser is cutting power, engraving speed, and the ability to engrave acrylics, right? Clear acrylic, all colors acrylic. Some of the higher powered diode lasers out there are going to be around the same price range or more, but they're not going to be able to touch acrylic. So if you want to do acrylic, I mean, this thing is a great option. And, you know, back in the day, not even that long, I mean, I shouldn't say back in the day, but they're still selling them. But the K40s, right? The K40s were pretty cool machines. They don't have all the bells and whistles that this have. So not even close. I mean, this is a complete machine. It comes with everything that you need. 12 by 16 bed. K40 is like what, an 8 by 12. This has air assist that comes on it. Your autofocus probe, semi-autofocus probe. It's got an adjustable Z height bed. You can go 4 inches up and down on this bed. So you're not going to get that on a K40. It's got a 45 watt glass tube, which gives you a little bit more cutting power, right? It's going to have, I'm going to switch cameras here. There we go. Oop. So not only that, but it's got a onboard controller. Okay, so it's color LCD screen controller. It's also, the Pro is actually also Wi-Fi, is Wi-Fi compatible. So I can control this with my phone. And that, we'll talk more about that with the Mega coming up here, but that's a great feature. So a lot of stuff going on with this laser. So yes, I do believe it's a good starter machine. So let's check these out. One good tip I have, I don't know if you noticed, but before you go and move your piece, always double check that you actually cut out, right? So I'm going to hold my pieces. I held my pieces there and tried to move them. And one I could feel cut out, but I'm going to do a second pass just on my layers here, just on the cut layers. So that way I don't have to, you don't waste the whole project. Because sometimes stuff happens. I'll show you one thing here. So here is my material test card for this walnut. I made this last night on a live, and this is 5mm MDF core with a walnut veneer. And, you know, I was cutting it upwards at 9mm a second at about 60% power is my high range. But for this cut, I decided to take it about 7mm a second at 45% right here in the middle. I like to be, you know, around this middle range here whenever I'm trying to cut new things or just in a production setting, because that way I know I'm getting through for the most part. I mean, sometimes MDF is always hard to cut because it's just like sawdust that's glued together and under, you know, it's compressed together. So it's very stable and it's a great material. It's flat, but it is tough to cut through. Looking good now. And just so you know, if you guys watch my videos, which I hope you do, if you don't, go check out my channel, Brett's Laser Garage. But my whole shop is in my garage. Okay, so I have a full-time laser engraving business with my wife. She runs it full-time. I have a full-time job on the side. Well, I have a full-time job, and the laser business is on the side for me. But my wife runs it full-time. So we have a bunch of equipment in our garage. We've been using Monport lasers for a long time. We have other lasers as well, but we like Monport lasers, of course. And, you know, I thought it would be cool to do this live inside. So we're in my house right now. This is my dining room. This is kind of like our craft room that we use. My wife has, you know, she does sublimation stuff and all sorts of things. So we have heat presses and whatnot in here and printers and a Cricut. And this is such a great size that I brought it inside. Now, I'm also running a air purifier, which you can kind of see it down there. It's a 150-watt air purifier. So this is not being vented outside. It's actually going through the air purifier, which is nice. I don't really smell anything at all. I just cut that wood. I maybe smell a tiny bit of it, but that is what I'm exhausting out of. So let's go ahead and check out our tags. All right, so here's our tags cut out. Nice engravings. The next thing I'm going to do on this file, take it back over to Lightburn. I'm going to move these out. And move these out of the way. And we're going to cut out a name. So here I wrote Dad, and I'm going to put this on. It's going to go about like this. So I size that pretty good right there. But I want to show you a little trick that I do. So I just, you know, use the text tool, pick my font, typed in Dad, right? But this is a pretty delicate cut here. There's some thin lines in here. I like to thicken these up a little bit, mainly because I want to give some surface for glue. So I'm going to do an outward offset, but just by 0.02 inches. And I'm going to delete the original. Now that fattened up that Dad right there. All right. So I'm going to go back to the machine. Let's cut this out of acrylic. So I went ahead and loaded up a piece of gold mirrored acrylic, and I placed it face down on the laser bed. And I've got my line settings here for that, 8 millimeters a second at 45% power. This is 3 millimeter mirrored acrylic, and it's extruded. Most of your mirrored stuff's going to be extruded acrylic, so it is a little hard to cut through, but I think this is going to do just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and switch back to my laser camera here. I set my origin to that where the red dot pointer is on the laser, which is another great feature. And I'm still in user origin. I'm going to frame here. And I can see that I don't have enough room here on my piece to do that. But I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees. Now when I frame, I'm looking good. So I want to use as much of this mirrored acrylic as I can. It's not cheap like everything, right? I'll go ahead and start that. And I cut this upside down like that because, I mean, I don't know. You guys tell me. But, you know, people say like the laser can reflect off of the mirror finish of the acrylic and like kind of damage your laser. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I figure why not? Why risk it, right? So plus that backing has like a foil on it. That's what's giving you, you know, the mirrored finish on it. So like it's got a little bit extra that you got to cut through. So it's also a good idea because of that to cut it on the back. So we'll see. I didn't refocus on this one. It's pretty close to what it's a little bit millimeter off or millimeter and a half off of focus from the MDF, but it should be fine. It's looking pretty good. All right. Let's check this out. Oh, rookie mistake. My wife told me I was going to do this, and I did it. So whenever you're cutting acrylic and you're cutting it on the back, you've got to mirror your design, because that, my friends, is the backing material. This is the front, and it's backwards. So let's rerun that. So what I'm going to want to make sure to do here is I'm just going to go up here to the mirror button, and we're going to reverse that. That's what I did up here. Oops. When I did a mom version. Okay, so let's rotate this one. I think I got to go. I'm going to move it a little bit. So I make sure I don't run into my other part here. We'll go ahead and start this now. Good question, Lori. So this machine does not have internal cooling. Thanks for reminding me. It ships with a water pump. So again, kind of like your K40 style, or I think some of even the bigger CO2s that Monport sells still ship with a water pump, and so you have a bucket of water. So that's your minimum cooling that you take care of with this. But what I'm running is I'm just running. You can see right here the 3000 chiller, and that's like it's the lower model chiller. It's not really a chiller. It doesn't like cool. Doesn't chill the water like a fridge or anything like that, but it does circulate it and it keeps it cool to like the room temperature, which is perfect for this machine. It's no issues. So I use that. I think it's a little bit nicer. Well, it's a little bit cleaner, like more compact package than have the bucket of water, but it does ship with the pump. Ships with I thought I had it over here, but I don't. It ships with a little water pump. Good question. All right, let's take this out. Now that looks a lot better. There's the mirrored acrylic letters. Like I said, this is extruded acrylic. And you normally like to use cast acrylic for cutting. The extruded, as you notice, like it cut clearly, but you have to kind of pop out the pieces because they kind of like remelt together a little bit. But other than that, it cut out great. So this would go, for example, you know, something like this. Oops. As a stocking tag or, you know, whatever, like we mentioned earlier. And I did one earlier that's finished. So a little cleanup work, a little spray, shellac, just super glued. The name on there, little, you know, fake leather tag. And there you go. All right. Okay, so I see some people asking about the giveaway. So let's give away another Lightburn license, shall we? Okay, so if you haven't already, type in hashtag Lightburn into the chat. If you've already typed it in, you don't need to type it in. Again, it's not going to give you another chance to win or anything like that. But let's see, we got about, let's see here. We got about 33 entries in here right now. So let's get that up because we got about 50 watching, and at least in YouTube on this channel. And while we're doing that, let's go back to the chat. Let's see if we can get some more questions. So I missed a lot as I was doing that, but you got me, Don. I should have been paying attention to the chat. Is there a camera available with this laser? So the Reno Pro 45 does not come with the camera. I don't believe Monport is going to be offering a camera for it. They don't normally have that as an accessory package, but Lightburn, check on Lightburn's website. They have a line of cameras, and they mount on the lid typically for the larger CO2 machines. I had one on my 80-watt Monport. So it might be difficult. Well, I don't know if it'd be difficult. If you have a little ingenuity, I'm sure you can mount a camera onto this lid with Lightburn's camera adapter with some double-sided tape or something, run the wires. It's just a USB cable that goes to your computer, calibrated, all that stuff. Like, it would work. So, but no, it does not come with one out of the gate. 1B Keller, does the red dot for aligning the laser come through the lens, or is it separate? Great question. Great question. It is separate. I will go back. Let me go back here to my laser bed. Oh my gosh. All right. It's kind of hard to see, but back around here at the back, there's a red dot that's mounted on the back of the laser head. And you can't even really see it unless you like really tilt your head back there. Okay, we got 42 entries. Remember, type in hashtag Lightburn. That is right, Jennifer. If you already typed in hashtag Lightburn during the first giveaway, you don't need to type it away. We're going to give away 2 more copies right now. But if you already typed it in, no need. You're already entered. And let's see. Bad Brad. So what would be the lowest temp this would be safe to operate in? Live in Texas, and temps are all over the place. So, like any glass tube CO2 laser, there's a minimum temperature you want to run it in and a maximum. It's in the manual. I'd have to check the specs exactly, but you do not want this laser to freeze because the water circulating inside of the laser tube to keep it cool will freeze and expand and crack your tube. Okay, so you want to make sure you're well above freezing temperatures. You also want to make sure it's not too crazy hot. Now, I'll tell you, if you're worried about that, you can go ahead and spring for the 5200 industrial chiller, and that's actually going to cool the water, and it's going to keep it a little bit more cooler than this chiller that I have, the 3000 would, because again, the 3000 chiller only keeps it cool to like what the ambient temperature basically is in your room. So if it's like 120 degrees, like sometimes it gets about that hot in my garage just because it's inside, and during the summer, maybe 115. It'll help. This laser or this chiller wouldn't really keep up with that, especially on a bigger machine. But yeah, 5200 would, or would be better off anyway. So check the manual for the exact temperatures. But again, you don't want to be freezing and you don't want to be boiling hot either. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, we got 45. That is a movement bit. So I think we got everyone entered here. Let's draw again. Let's draw one more Lightburn Pro license. And I need to share my screen, but I already ran the drawing. So let's see who won. The winner is Harvey. Congratulations, Harvey. I'm going to write your name down just so I make sure. Harvey Matias, congratulations. You just won a Lightburn Pro license key. Congratulations. You better believe it. You won. So again, go ahead and send me an email. This is along the bottom of the screen during the whole stream, and it's also here on the screen as well. So email me at brett@arcshop.us, and I will help you to arrange for your delivery of your prize. Let's see who else. All right. And let's give away one more, huh? Hashtag Lightburn. Hashtag Lightburn. All right. Here we go. Let's roll it one more time. Our third license is going to Mar. Congratulations, Mar. All right, congratulations, Mar. Let's see if I can get this. There we go. You won the third and final Lightburn Pro license key. So make sure to email me at brett@arcshop.us. Okay, we got a couple questions here, couple answers here. So Bofon, okay, went ahead and looked at the manual, which is a great thing to do. Good job. Operation temperature of the manual says 15 to 35 degrees Celsius, 59 to 95 for the question earlier. So that's the that's the like temperature of the the laser, the water in the laser tube, basically. So I mean, if it's 95 degrees, it doesn't mean you can't run your laser, or 96 degrees doesn't mean you can't run your laser, as long as you're cooling it effectively. So right now my chiller says it's at 22.6 Celsius. All right, so let's go ahead, let's run another project, huh? Let's do an ornament. All right, so this we're going to be using 3mm, or maybe about 2.5 actually. Just basswood. Set my autofocus. And set my origin. There. We'll go back to Lightburn here in a second. I'll go ahead and open up my new file. And get you back over to Lightburn here. Remove that. Present. Oops. And go ahead, stop this screen. We go ahead and share screen for Lightburn. Okay, so here's our new file. Remember, if you guys have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments. I'm going to go back to it, I promise. Just want to get through a few projects here. We're going to put this one down side here. We did that one earlier. Okay, so here we have an image engraved. This is a raster image. Over here, you can see that. So we'll double check our settings here. I'm at 385 millimeters a second, 13% power. This is really delicate basswood. 0.078 line interval. And we're going to be dithering this in Jarvis. So this is a sample of the dither pattern here. It's just, since this is a raster image, it's not a, it's not a vector file, so it's not a line image. It's a bitmap or raster image, so it's made out of pixels, right? So we're going to be making all these little dots. And then, of course, the black layer we have is our cut file. So I have my engrave going first, and then my cut going second. Go back to our laser bed here. See if I can't do both. There we go. Oh. Okay, go back to our laser bed, and we'll go ahead and frame this. And move it over. just a tad. I want to make sure I don't get into my, I already used my one mistake today, so I can't make any more. Yeah, right. Go ahead and run that. So what's up? If you're new here, let me know where you're from. We got 54 joining us right now. It looks like from my end, what I can see on at least on YouTube. I think I tried to stream to Facebook also, and on my channel and on Monport's channel. So I think it all worked. Keller, so the honeycomb is steel. It's steel, so you can use magnets. I typically don't ever use magnets. So I use pins. I have a few different types. I was trying to put in my orange 3D printed ones, but I couldn't get them to fit on this. They do fit in some of the holes, but not in the ones I was trying to use. So I just gave up and used my wood pins. But very important to pin your material down. Especially this really thin, like 2.5 millimeter, 3 millimeter basswood, because it can bend, and if it's bending up or down, it's going to put you out of focus, and it's going to your job's not going to come out perfect. You're going to have areas where it doesn't engrave correctly, like it's too dark or too light because the focus is out on certain areas of your cup. So pinning it down works really good. Good question. So Lori, it looks very similar to the ones you're doing. Cool. A lot of these files I got on Etsy, just for people that are new. I mean, let me know if you're new. Let me know in the comments if you're new to lasers, if you don't own one, or if like maybe, you're just getting into it. But one of the barriers that I think a lot of people have is like, okay, like how the heck do I make these files? Like, but the easy part about these is you don't have to. I mean, of course you can and you will as you get more experience, but there's tons of resources online nowadays, especially Etsy, where you can buy SVG files and run them. It takes a little bit of practice getting the settings down and everything, but you can get up and running fairly quickly. All right, so it looks like we're done here. Let's go check this out. All right, so here's our raster engraving. Looks pretty good. Now we're going to go ahead and load up some new material. Go back to the laser bed. We're going to do the second layer to this ornament. You'll see what I do sometimes. I give this a tap just to make sure that I'm flat. And this piece of white oak that I put in here is already really flat, so I'm not going to pin it down. And just so you know, this bed, it's a manual bed, right? So I'm twisting this by hand, but it comes with this tool. It comes with a T handle. If you want to use that. If I plunger, I just think sometimes it's easier just to do it with your hand. All right, so lid down. If you're just joining us, looks like we got some new people in the stream. We're going to be making an ornament here. I already cut out our first part of it, the raster engrave, and a cut out of basswood. And now I'm going to take you back to Lightburn. We're going to move this to the side. Here is our second part of this. And layering things is just a really great way to, obviously add depth to a project, but you know, given a 3D element is always nice. So in this cut line, I'm at 15 millimeters a second at 45%. I'm gonna lower the speed a little bit because when I tested this earlier, I was using solid cherry, and this is solid white oak. It's about 3 millimeters. I resawed this a while ago and ran it through my drum sander and, you know, made it nice and even thickness. But the white oak, I think, is going to be a little bit harder than the cherry. So I'm going to drop that down a bit. And then our engrave is still at 350 millimeters a second, 30% power, 0.09 line interval. So I'll go ahead and switch it back here. And let's frame. And hit start. And thank you, Harvey, the big winner, Harvey, today. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. That helps push this video out to others who maybe don't catch it live but want to watch it tomorrow or something like that. So really appreciate that. Thank you, Harvey. This is live on Monport's channel. If I'm not mistaken, it shows it is on my end. Am I mistaken? Let me know. I did it on both. It's on my channel and Monport's. But I've been known to mess a few things up here and there, so. Mistaken? Yes, you are. So it is on Monport's site. Let me check. Well, as long as it's somewhere, hey, that's. Well, that is good. Thank you very much, Monport. Thanks for being here. What's up, Guillermo? First time. Cool. What's up? Well, sorry about the confusion. I didn't mean to keep you guys waiting. But thanks for coming by. So we've given away 3 Lightburn licenses. I'm going to put a message out. Let's see if I can put a message out, make sure everyone's over here. But we're going to give this laser away. So Lori, is it as quiet as it seems when you run a job? No, so it's not as quiet as it seems right now because I have a microphone. It's kind of like a directional microphone, just kind of pointing towards me. Now I have the so I have my blower, the exhaust ventilation fan. I have the chiller running and then the laser running all at once. So it is not loud by any means, but it's not perfectly quiet. I mean, you can hear the fans going. So I'd say it's probably like, I don't know, 55 decibels or so, something like that. But I got all 3 of those things running. Edward, planning on getting Monport. What are you thinking about getting? What machine? YouTube Guillermo. Hey, you could win this machine here. You could win a Reno Pro 45. We're going to give that away very, very soon. I want to make sure we get everyone over here, especially now that I realize that we had a little bit of a technical issue on the Monport's YouTube channel, getting over on that side. So I want to make sure we get everyone over here. All right, our job's done. Let's check this thing out. All right, so this is, again, about 3 millimeters solid white oak. Engraving came out nice and dark. I'm very happy with that engraving. A little bit of cleanup is needed. We're going to go ahead and, we normally take care of that with just a little sandpaper. That's why I like using solid wood whenever I can, because you can sand the heck out of this stuff and you're not going to blow through the veneer like you would on a plywood, right? So, but really clean, actually. Clean cut. So the two of these are going to come together like this. So just a little bit of super glue, a little bit of wood glue, whatever you want to use. You can even put a little bit of, adhesive tape, 3M adhesive tape on the back of your wood before you cut it out. That way, all you'd have to do is peel that off and go ahead and stick these two together. That's a really good way to do it. And after these are cleaned up, I have a similar version that I did earlier. It's going to look like this. So this is where, just adding these little touches really help. If you're trying to sell these ornaments, instead of just putting like just a little, leather string on it, add a little bit of ribbon. My wife added this little bead here. It doesn't really cost anything, but it kind of makes it look a lot better. And then this layering effect really makes it look nice as well. So pretty cool project. We have our raster engrave and then our vector engraving and our cuts. All right, so hey, what I want to do right now, let's take a look at the Mega Laser. Let's look at the Mega Laser briefly before we do one of our big giveaways. Oh, thank you. Came out nice. I'd hang it. Well, thank you very much. Luis, before we get off of the Reno, I want to answer this question. The Reno does fit a rotary attachment. So you get about 4 inches of Z height out of this bed, okay, without taking the bottom of the machine off. So you couldn't use like a chuck style rotary, but a roller style rotary, they would work. And they have one specifically coming out for it. It's not out yet, but it should be out in a few weeks or so. But it's listed on their website. Well, not for sale, but it shows it on the product footage or product, marketing stuff for the Reno. So we'll have a rotary. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at Monport's website real quick. So pretty exciting. The Monport Mega Laser is, brand new coming out here. Oops, where'd it go? There we go. So coming in at about $4,000, you're getting a 70-watt CO2 machine, desktop CO2 machine. So I'm going to scroll down here to some of the features. Let's take a look at some of the features of the Mega, because this thing looks pretty cool. So it's got a max processing speed of 1,000 millimeters per second. And of course, it's a 70-watt glass CO2 tube. The processing area is going to be about 27.5 by 13.75 or 78 inches. So that's really big. I mean, when you compare that to the P2, that's huge. You could fit a lot on a 27 by 13 or 14 almost. And we're looking at about 44 by 26 inches overall. So the Mega will have a camera, and it's looking like it's going to recognize most of that bed, if not all of it, which is nice. It's going to have autofocus, and I'm assuming the autofocus is going to be probably some sort of, it might be camera related, like the P2, I'm not sure. But we're looking at a 0.01 millimeter processing precision. It's got a touch screen on it. It says 68 decibels for noise. So this is going to be an all-in-one unit. So it's got your chiller, your air assist, optics, everything in one package. So it's not like the Reno where I've got a chiller going, and the air pump on this is internal, but all of that on the Mega is actually all internal, which is pretty cool. Now, one cool thing about the Mega is it comes with flame detection. So this looks like it's a standard feature. So it probably has one of those little CO2 canisters that you put in there, and I guess if it detects a flare up, it's going to put that out automatically. So going down here, some more of the features. Yeah, so they're claiming right now 25 millimeter cutting capacity for acrylic and wood. Pretty strong. We'll see how that goes when we actually get this. Again, your wide angle lens. Although this is another feature, the easy alignment. So 5-minute optical path alignment. So setting your mirrors should be really helpful with this. It looks like it's got some different adjustment knobs and stuff on it, where it's going to make that a little bit easier instead of doing the old tape and burn method. Here's our fire detection system again. And one thing I'm really impressed with here, if you play the video, that's probably not going to play. My internet's crazy. But anyway, so this is actually a pretty cool feature, this laser. It says it's fully enclosed, but like anti-laser leakage design. So no laser radiation light is coming out, which is obviously important for safety, but smoke too. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how well this gets rid of all the smoke. So again, we have our autofocus, enclosed, class 1 laser. Tons of cool stuff on this thing, guys and girls. So really looking forward to the Mega coming out. They've taken a lot of what other people are doing in this desktop CO2 kind of genre, and they're up in the game a little bit. I mean, 70 watts, that's a big difference. So compared to like a 55 watt, you're gonna be able to cut a lot with this thing. So the other thing, that a question came up earlier, M Design Hub, Mac compatible. So when will it be available for download? So the Mega Laser is going to be compatible with Lightburn first and foremost. It will work with Lightburn, but some of the more advanced features that the Mega offers, like it could be the autofocus, it could be curved engraving capability. There's also a conveyor system that's going to be out for this as well. That's going to be allow you to use large, long materials that can go in through the pass-through, the front and back pass-through of that machine. So those types of features, Lightburn doesn't support right now, even for like the X-Tool P2. Right now, Lightburn does not support those. So their own software that they're making right now is called M Design Hub. I've never used it before, so I can't say if it's Mac compatible. I can almost guarantee that it will be. I mean, everything nowadays is Mac and PC based, right? So like right now, I'm running on Mac, Lightburn off a Mac as well. But it's going to be brand new proprietary software, which, we'll see how it works. I mean, that could be a good thing or a bad thing. We don't know yet. I haven't seen it. I should be getting my hands on a copy here pretty soon, like in about a week or so, I guess, just to kind of play around with it. But, software always evolves, right? So, like, depending on, how it is now is not going to be like a year from now or 2 years from now. So, looking forward to seeing how that software works. And Mike, can you go over which mega features will only work with M Design Hub? So I just did right there, anything that Lightburn currently doesn't do right now. So curve processing, batch processing, conveyor system, possibly autofocus, depending on how, I don't know how the Mega's autofocus works. If it works with the camera or if it got touch probe, I'm not sure. So that's a possibility as well. We're gonna have to wait and find out. And again, Wendell coming back. When will the Mega be ready for review? I believe they're shipping in like a week and a half. I'm looking to get my hands on one very soon. So I should have it in about a week. When I do get it, we're going to have a whole live stream just on the Mega Laser. Has Monport confirmed with you that the software will be available when it ships? Yes, they have told me that. So they are telling me that I'm going to be able to have it like by the 2nd, like the software. I believe the 2nd. So December 2nd. Okay, so going back to the Reno. So Coron 1 just got my first Monport laser 2 days ago, 40 watt pro. So you mean the 45, the Reno, is that what you got? 8x12, it's got to be what you got. So I see your next question. The only thing I would add is a material tray in the front for bigger material. So I don't know if you know this, but if you see here, this red stripe here, this comes out. So this is your front pass-through for the Reno. So if that's what you're talking about, the Reno does have a pass-through. Now, it doesn't go through the back. It just is in the front. So if you want to have something long sticking up front, it's workable. All right, so let's do another project. I'm going to get something set up here. Someone asked about metal. All right. So I don't know if you noticed, but I just put a coated metal business card. So no, CO2 lasers will not engrave metal like coins. You're going to want a fiber laser for that more than likely, depending on what you want to do. Fiber, UV, those lasers will engrave into metal, but mostly fiber lasers are going to be your best bet, especially for something like a coin, okay? But CO2 lasers can take the coating off of coated metals. So, stainless steel tumblers, this coated business card, bottle opener, all that stuff. So let's go ahead and do a business card. I'm going to go ahead and share Lightburn again real quick. All right, so I made a couple business card designs here. I'm going to pick this one, and it's at my origin already here. So if you notice, I made a tool layer around, and this is about the shape and size of my metal business card that I put inside there. So this is not going to do anything. It's not going to cut. It's not going to engrave. It's just a template. And that's what I'm using to align this just quickly here. Now, if I was making a bunch of these, I'd make a jig and set it in a wooden jig or something like that. But for this purpose, just doing one here, I'm going to make my little tool layer here. I see I'm using user origin. So I set my origin to the upper left corner of the business card. And I'm going to frame. Looks like we're pretty good there. Now, if you notice, I have this little design here. I kind of drag that out a little bit beyond the card. That way, I don't need to get too precise with my alignment, because if that engraves a little bit off, it's not going to do any harm. That way I know I'm going to go all the way to the edge. So I'm going to select all. I'm running this at 400 millimeters a second, 35% power, 0.08 line interval, millimeter line interval. And of course, just doing a fill layer here. Let's go ahead and start that. I agree, Lori. That, to be honest, I didn't even know that it was there when I first opened the machine. And I gotta, pass-throughs are really important. I agree with that. Now, Freddie, I believe you're asking about this material that I just loaded up. This is just a little aluminum business card. And it's got a coating, black coating. It's like a paint on top of it. And yes, so that was one other thing I forgot to mention. So yes, CO2 lasers can mark with a metal marking spray. So Ceramark, I'm not, so that, yeah, that's a metal marking spray. I'm thinking of Cerakote, but Ceramark is one of the brands. Monport has their own brand, a bunch of them. You can get them on Amazon. So that's just going to like react with the laser beam on a stainless steel or metal surface and kind of create a black mark. So that's another way around it. But other than that, CO2 lasers will not do anything to metal. They will not engrave into metal. And Jack is surprised by the speed the laser head moves at. And you know what? I am too. Like, this thing's, it's not a toy. I mean, this thing's not a joke. Like, it works really well. All right, I'm going to go and pull this out. All right. So here's our business card. Now you can see this doesn't look too crisp right now, but watch this. It's going to take a little bit of isopropyl alcohol and a magic eraser. Just rubbing this on there. See all that soot and debris that came off? And there you go. Metal business card on a CO2 laser. In about, what was that, like 2 minutes or so? I mean, settings could definitely be cranked up a little bit, but there's so many different possibilities with these machines. Mostly what I deal with is wood. I do a lot of wood, a lot of clear acrylic, but man, like, let's do another kind of crazy. Well, it's not crazy, but let's do another like kind of different project. Let's go back to Lightburn. Oh, you know what? Hey, before we do that, let me load something else up. I'll switch back over here so you can see what I'm doing. So this is a metal bottle opener. And another tip I just want to talk about real quick is when you're lining projects, and for these quick demos, I'm just doing user origin and kind of doing this, lining it up as good as I can, just really quick. But whenever you're trying to get an origin set, like it's easiest to move the material to the laser than it is to try to bump the laser over, by doing short pulses like that. It's easiest if you just bring the material over there. Now I'm just getting the upper corner lined up with the red dot, and I'm going to traverse to the right. And just make sure I'm square. So that's pretty good. I'm going to set my origin there. We'll go back to light burn. So here I've marked out another tool layer. This is my working area on that bottle opener. So it's not the entire bottle opener. It's just where I want to mark on the bottle opener. So I'm going to select the whole thing so that my origin is set in the correct spot. We'll go ahead and start this. We're about the same speed. I went a little bit higher power on this. This one had a little bit different coating on it than our business card. And Jack's got a question. This is another good question. Once you have cut out the majority of the body of the wood acrylic, have you found a good use for the remainder? And, it depends. I mean, my wife likes to save like every little piece. And for the most part, we do. And I mean, we're still kind of looking for things to do with it. But, it depends on what you make. I mean, if you're like make small things, like someone was making earrings earlier. Or we're going to do a keychain if we have time, if people want to stick around. I got a keychain project lined up. If you're doing small things, like I'll show you my cutoff here. If you do a lot of small things, a lot of names, like we cut out for those tags. We have some different ornaments here that we made in the past, little, emblems and stuff. Like you can really use the majority of this material, even without a camera. I mean, the cameras are nice, but, just doing it the way I did in setting your origin and framing, I mean, you can get pretty accurate. So keep your scraps. Okay, so here is our bottle opener. Here's our bottle opener again. Of course, that does not look that great, right? Let's give that a clean. Just rubbing a little alcohol in there. And much better. And of course, this is just going to reveal whatever is underneath. So these are, I mean, these things are 10 cents a piece, I think. So this is some sort of like, I don't know, it looks like galvanized, looks like not galvanized, but it looks like steel. So it's just going to reveal whatever's underneath, but the laser's not going to actually engrave it or etch or anneal anything to the steel. So, but you can see we got some pretty good alignment just from my quick little framing feature or my tool layer that I did. So we'll add that to our list. Vincent, so using Lightburn, can the laser retain home position, or it can resume from failure or power loss? So depends on what you mean by home. The home position on this laser is, what is it? The upper right corner. Let me check here. Yeah, upper right corner is our home position, and yes, that will always be that position. Always, you see up here in the top right corner. If you mean like, will it retain the origin? I'm not sure about that. I have to double check, but it will run the job again. If you have a power failure or you open the door and the machine's going to shut off, obviously, because of the safety feature on the controller, it's going to give you the option to kind of resume where you last left off. What's the settings you have for that material? You talking about the steel bottle opener? Why is the M smaller than the P? I don't know. It's just the vector file. That's their logo. And we got another good question. Tara, how do we enter the giveaway? Okay, so here's how you enter the giveaway. We're going to wait. We got 90 on right now. So we'd really like to get 100 watching. But to enter the giveaway, you're going to type in hashtag Reno. Hashtag Reno. And while we're chatting here and running a couple jobs, I want to give everyone a chance to type that in. Remember, you can only type it in one time. You type it in 10 times, it doesn't do any good. It just spams the whole chat. So let's get everyone queued up. I'm going to get my giveaway tool here squared away. Put that hashtag in. All right, I got 49 entries right now. Hashtag Reno, hashtag Reno. We're going to give this one like probably at least one more project, maybe two more projects, maybe like 10, 15 minutes. So I want everyone to get in here. Remember, if you haven't already, hit the like button. Hit that like button right now as you're typing in hashtag Reno. So Monport, you're asking, okay, what's the settings you have for that material? And I asked you, was it the bottle opener, the steel bottle opener? And yes, let me go back to that. Let me check Lightburn here. So on that steel bottle opener, I'll share my screen. Okay, am I sharing? Yeah. Okay, so I'm at 400 millimeters a second, 55% power, and 0.07 line interval. You know, as I was talking about how CO2s react with, or how they don't react with metal, you know, you really crank up that power just because you want to make sure you get that through that coating. And it really depends on what coating it is. I mean, they're all different. If you do a lot of tumblers, you'll know like the different colors, different brands of tumblers. Even with that, all the settings are slightly different. I'm going to go back. Let's see here. Let's see if I want to make sure I didn't miss any comments. Lori says she likes the Santa tray. If you guys didn't see this earlier, if you're just joining us, here's our Santa tray that we did earlier. I did this off camera because it took about 20 minutes or so. And this is a good question, Mar, too. So what's the difference between the Pro and the regular Reno? Okay, so aside from the price, the regular Reno is going for about $1,000 right now. The Reno Pro is $1,500. The Reno Pro is going to get you slightly faster engraving, so 600 millimeters per second max engraving speed versus the Reno regular is going to be 500 millimeters a second. So little difference there. I don't think there's really anything mechanically different between the two. I think it's probably just a vendor setting where they're bumping that up. I'm not sure. Maybe Monport can elaborate on that a little bit, but It's possible maybe one of them has different stepper motors or something, but it looks like all the drive systems are the same. So take that for whatever it's worth. But the big thing that's different is that the Reno Pro runs off of Lightburn. The Reno original Reno does not run off of Lightburn unless you use some sort of like, I don't know. The regular Reno runs off of like your normal K40 software. Like I need K40 Whisper. What's that other one that always ships with the lasers? Maybe RD Works. It's going to have different software. It can run off of Lightburn supposedly if you use some sort of like emulator or something, I guess, like that. Maybe someone else can speak to that. I'm not really like in the K40 world, so I don't really know much about that stuff. But basically, the motherboard is different, or the controller. I guess the motherboard is different in the regular Reno than it is in the Pro. The Pro runs Lightburn lickety split. Nothing. You connect it, plug it in, connect it. It's good to go. The other thing that's different between the two machines is the Reno Pro has Wi-Fi capability. So they have an app that you can download on your phone, and you can control the laser through it. You can run files, all that stuff. The app is I tested it. I don't have it connected right now. I tested it. It's a little clunky. The app is kind of generic. I got it to connect okay. It was cool because I was jogging the machine from my desk here, and behind me, instead of going to the controller, I was able to jog it and use my camera on my computer and look at it. So that was really cool. But what really makes me happy about the Wi-Fi capability, though, is with M Design Hub coming out. I'm assuming that the Mega is also going to be Wi-Fi compatible. So, having that Wi-Fi capability on this controller will probably allow it to connect with the M Design Hub wirelessly. So, I don't have that confirmed. Maybe Monport can confirm that, but at least having that Wi-Fi capability opens the door for future softwares to connect wirelessly with it. All right, so hashtag Reno. Remember, you just got to type it in one. Looks like we get a lot of entries here. We got 87, 96 watching, 87. How many likes we got? Who can tell me how many likes we got? We should have 96 likes in here, no? Maybe more, because people have been coming and going. Can it do batch processing? I'm assuming you're talking about the Mega when we were talking about that. And yes, it does have that capability in the software. Again, I have not used the M Design Hub software yet. I'm looking to use that probably next week to try to figure out how that works. But I've seen the trailer footage, the promotional footage for the Mega, and it appears that it has that feature. So we will see. And Twisted is going to go live on his channel tomorrow with his 90 watt, making some orders, answer questions. Cool. I'll try to check that out if I'm not busy. But everyone, make sure you check out Twisted's channel. Oh, this is a good one. Yeah, but what are you giving? Oh, well, not that one. Tim R says, yeah, but what are you going to give away? So let's see. 69 likes. Okay, 71 likes. We're going up. Onyx Systems is drooling over the 150 watt with the chiller. What do you want to use the 150 watt for? You looking for more the bed capacity or the power? Uh-oh. All right, let me load the project here. I want to make, we got 99 on right now. So type in hashtag Reno in the chat if you want to get in on this laser. You want to win this laser. You got to be present to win. This contest is open to anywhere that Monport Laser ships lasers. So it's not just the U.S., not just Canada, not just North America. If you're in Germany, we had someone in Germany earlier. We had a bunch of people in Canada earlier. Let me know if you're from anywhere else around the world other than the United States or Canada. But this is open to everybody. So you're going to basically get a code from Monport to enter into their website, and they're going to send you this thing for free. Well, let's start another project. I've got another, I was getting into this earlier. I've got another kind of like different material. that I want to run. Let's see here. Where is it? I don't need to save that. Let's do some cork. Let's run a cork coaster. And this is going to show just how delicate this machine can be too. So I'm just going to throw this on my bed. Again, if I was doing a bunch of these, I would set up a jig and to reference off of. But check this out. I've got a pretty easy way to align this as well. I'm just going to select my tool layer here. Am I sharing out? Okay. Let me go to this circle frame here. This is the rubber band boundary. Okay, and this is going to draw. It's going to frame this circle. Instead of just doing a square around this, it's going to do the entire circle. So I'm going to hit frame. First, I'm going to share my screen on my the laser bed first, so you can see what it's doing. I'm going to frame this. Remember how earlier I said it's easier to bring the material to the job? I didn't reset my origin from last time, so it was going down in that area of the bed, but it's fine. I just moved the coaster over. Hit it one more time. And I'm just making sure that red dot's just kind of like traveling on the outer perimeter. Moving it as needed. I think that's good. I'll show you my settings for this. So we're running 300 millimeters a second, 9% power, 0.1 line interval. Oops. Shut my lid. Switch my camera. We got selected graphics on, so we'll do that. Mike's asking what the thickest acrylic the Reno Pro can cut. Well, the website will tell you, I think 18 millimeters. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to do, if you guys want to stick around later, we're going to get to the giveaway soon. And I've got a couple more things we can show off as well. But I have quarter-inch material, quarter-inch acrylic. It's 6.5 mil. That's the thickest acrylic that I have. And we'll see if it cuts it. There you go. I didn't coin that phrase, so I can't take credit for it. But I don't know where I learned that, but somewhere on YouTube or something. But it's way easier. Yeah, like I said, 15 millimeters on the site. You know, I don't. I doubt that it could cut 15. To be honest, I mean, it probably does, but you're running like 0.5 millimeters a second at like 70% power, 1 millimeter a second. I mean, technically it would cut it, but I mean, is that really realistic? Like a lot of the companies and Monport's not the only one that everyone does this, but they say, oh, it cuts, 3/4 of an inch or whatever, or 15 millimeters, 20 millimeters in one pass, and they'll show the 2x4 being cut or something. But you look at the edge of it and it's all charred and it's not perfectly, not 90 or close to 90, so it's more of like a torture test, I would say. Like it will cut it, but I don't think it's realistic. So that's just me. I never tried it, so maybe it does. But I know I've cut quarter-inch acrylic, and I'm running about 4 millimeters a second. And I don't really like to go much lower than that with any material speed-wise. I think it just gets a little dangerous at that point. But can it cut acrylic and wood at the same time? No. And not sure why you would want to do that though, but I wouldn't see that working. No. All right, let's go to our camera here. There's our cork. So that came out really nice. You know, you can't feel this engraving, but it marked it like really dark. So works very well on cork. Now, one thing you'll notice the centering here. So like, let me go back to Lightburn. Oh, never mind. It's just a framing thing. But anyway, that's what I was saying. You know, I'm doing a quick frame here. Could have spent a little more time on that, but overall looks good. Okay, let's see how many we got for the giveaway here. 96 entries. Oh, good. Okay. You guys ready? Girls, you ready? What's our like count at? Can anyone tell me what our like count is at? Let me go back to my starred comments here. So we got all the old comments here. Lori, you still in here, Lori? Would you say a CO2 laser is easy enough to use and maintain for a fairly new to laser kind of person? Yes, 100%. They're not hard. They're not any harder than a diode laser. I mean, they're the same. I mean, there's a couple other, I guess, optics wise, there's a little bit more going on with your mirror, your laser tube and your mirrors. But I mean, I didn't align the mirrors on this. It shipped to my house. I checked them. They were really good. I mean, optic wise, it came really well. If you have to align the mirrors, it's not that big of a deal. There's tons of YouTube videos on it. Just you do it once and it's like, boom, you got it. Other than that, I mean, it's just different settings, right? So like, it's totally easy for a beginner to use. 80 likes. Cool. Tim's ready. And Lori is still here. All right. 80 likes. Good. That's good. Thanks for liking the video, everybody. I'm going to make sure I hit everything that I was going to. Oh, I didn't hit everything. Okay. Before we do the drawing, one other thing I want to talk about is, okay, support, right? So like, how do you get help? This is going back to Lori's question about like, is it easy to use? So can you confirm if the giveaway is rigged or not? No, it's not. How is it rigged? How would I rig it? Going back to Lori's question, is it easy to use? And what do you do if you need help? So the biggest way to get help is online support, right? So like Facebook. The Facebook, if you guys aren't on the Facebook group for Monport, if you own a Monport or any CO2 for that manner, or yeah, for that manner, but if you have a fiber, CO2, whatever, Monport machine, join the Facebook group. There's so much knowledge on that Facebook group. If you have a question, there's so many people there that are willing to help you out. Like you'll get answers right away. Support forums, Lightburn. Okay, Lightburn forum is another really great resource if you're looking to learn about lasers, or you have a not just software question, but anything diode laser, CO2 laser related. There's so much information out there. Aside from, I'm not even counting all the YouTube videos there are out there. There's just so much information out there nowadays. And Monports are still here, so maybe they'll win. And Twisted had the same. Twisted is the same as me. His mirrors were dead on. You got to check them though. These are not just magic boxes that you press a button and they spit stuff out. I mean, I talked about this in I was live last night, just an impromptu live, right? But like, we just did cork, right? How did I know how to get settings for cork? Well, I messed up a bunch. I tested it. You know, I ran material test cards. These are so important to run on every material. How do I know what it's going to cut out, you know, on white oak? you know, whatever. Engraving settings. Like, not all of these are great, but I went through it. I mean, you're going to mess up a lot of stuff. You have to go through it and see what the machine's going to do. You know, how am I doing on acrylic? You know, how am I cutting out acrylic? Oops. You know, engraving on acrylic. You know, how does this, you know, laser work on glass? You know, you don't know until you test it. So you got to test your material. You know, if people tell you settings, like I'm showing my settings here. I'll tell you whatever settings, anytime I'll tell you what my settings are. But settings only get you so far because everyone's machine is slightly different. Everyone's, you know, environment is slightly different. I mean, my settings may not work for you. Maybe you have a slightly different laser. Maybe you have a 60 watt or an 80 watt. You know, you have to tweak those. So you have to put in the time to test all this stuff. All right, we got 100 entries. I was waiting till we got 100, and you guys did it. We're at 102 right now. We got 102 people, 100 entries. Let's give this thing away. And again, I'm not giving this one away. You know, I'm just, Monport's going to send you your own, but I kind of like this. I think I'm going to keep it. Let me go stop that. Share my screen. Okay. I'm going to get rid of this banner. And remember, if you're looking at getting a Monport machine, you can always use my promo code Brett10. That's going to give you 8% off on top of whatever awesome sale that Monport already has. So just thought I'd mention that. It's been on the bottom of the screen. You know, I get a little bit of kickback from that. Not going to lie. It helps me out, helps out my channel. So if you do use that promo code, I really appreciate it. And of course, it helps you out too. You get an extra 8% off. Okay, last call. If you haven't typed in hashtag Reno, type it in now. Again, you only need to type it in once. If you want to type it in twice just to make sure, feel free. I don't mind. But it's only going to give you one entry. All right. Freddy's ready. All right. Good luck, everybody. Again, thanks for joining me. We're not going to be done. I'm going to stay on. But I know I said earlier I wanted to do this a lot earlier. I'm sorry. I have a tendency to go on and on a little bit. I just wanted to show I wanted to show a lot of projects. I mean, I am really impressed with how well this little laser works. I will be honest, like I wasn't quite sure about it. Like 45 watt, you know, little desktop, you know, at this price point, 1,500, like that's a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, but that's on the lower end price point, right? I was a little skeptical of it, and I've been using this thing for a week now, and used it quite a bit last night doing all this testing, and very impressed with the power that this thing has, the precision it has. So whoever this is going to, I'm sure it's going to be a great addition. All right, enough is enough. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh man, I'm nervous. Who is it going to be? Luis Lopez. Luis Lopez, congratulations, man. You just won a brand new Monport Reno Pro 45 watt laser. It is coming to you, man. It's on its way. Email me, brett@arcshop.us. I want to make sure you get this thing, man. I want to make sure you get this. Congratulations. You hear? You got it. Remember, you got to be present to win. So come on, Luis. Where are you? Where are you, Luis? Give me some time here, but where are you? I need to see you. There he is. There he is. Where? Oh, there he is. Okay. Woo. Don't worry. I wasn't gonna skip you, man. I didn't see you. All right. Awesome. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. Send me an email. I'm gonna put it up again here. Where's my banner? Send me an email. I got your name written down. I just want to make sure that the person who says they are you is really you, and I have an easy way to do that, but we'll talk about that via email. So what's up? I know some people are going to leave. I know some people are going to leave. Want to hang out a little bit more? I'm down to hang out. I've got some more stuff, believe it or not. Who wants to see glass? Anyone want to see glass? I showed my card. Who wants to see some glass? People sent me messages on YouTube earlier saying they want to see glass ornaments. So I don't know. I have one ready. While we're waiting on that, let me know what you guys want to see. Let me know if you have any more questions. If you guys want to leave, that's cool too. I'll see you next time on the Mega live stream. We're going to do this again. Bad Brad, keep going. All right, man. I'm going to keep going. Harvey wants to see it. Okay, you got it. All right, let's put some glass in here. So all right. When's the mega stream? So mega stream is to be determined. I gotta get it first. So it's on its way, I believe. I gotta get it. I gotta, unpack it. I gotta do all that stuff. I gotta get my hands on it. I gotta play with it a little bit, get prepared. So I'm hoping like the second week in December. That's what I'm hoping. But I'll check the Facebook. If you guys aren't on the Facebook group, make sure you're on the Facebook group. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Brett's Laser Garage. Follow me, subscribe on YouTube, subscribe to Monport Lasers YouTube channel. They're going to put it on there as well. I'm going to try to get it figured out here where I don't screw it up and get it streamed on their channel as well. So we can have a dual thing going on. So I'll let you know. And yes, you're very welcome. Thank you again to Monport. You said that earlier, but yeah, thanks a lot. This has been a great stream. It's not over yet. It's not over, but it's been a great stream. I really appreciate everyone's time. I appreciate Monport. Like I said, they've been stepping up their game. They got a lot of cool stuff coming out, and the fact that they're putting in the time to get these multiple streams and stuff going on shows a lot. They're really trying to do the right thing and really trying to step up their game. Okay, so let's get some glass going on. So I see a lot of questions about glass. Well, a couple anyway. We will get to those. I'm going to share my bed here. Let me get rid of this here. We'll stop that. Go back to light burn. Glass on CO2s is tough. For me, anyway. Maybe some people it's easy, but it's tough for me. Not impossible. Open up a file here that I had. Let's see here. Where is it? Christmas. No. There we go. Snowflake. Okay, so here is our glass. Again, I framed this in a way where I created a tool layer of my it's a 4x6 piece of glass. And I've got my engraving in the middle. I'm running this at 330 millimeters a second, 14% power, 0.1 line interval. One thing I'm also going to do with this, what I learned from my testing, is I'm going to defocus the laser a little bit. So I'm going to take my focus gauge. And I just defocused by about a millimeter. And I want to do that again based off of my test card here. It's a little hard to see, but came out pretty nice and frosty. My second card is when I defocused a little bit. It seemed to help. All right, so let's see how this does. I haven't run a full glass project. I just did a material test card, so we'll see how this works out. Hey, thanks for coming back, Matt. Saw you last night. Thanks for being here. If you're still here, have a nice weekend, man. How does this compare to your UV laser? So CO2 versus UV laser, galvo laser for glass is like not even comparable. The UV laser is like so crisp and fast for glass. It's like, I mean, I love using the UV. I don't do any glass on CO2s. It can be done. I see a lot of people doing it. It can be done, especially with the rotary, and you can do it. There's just some little tricks to it. You got to get your settings right, of course. You have to have your file right if you're using a bitmap or raster file. This is just a vector file, but we'll see how this comes out. The glass gets hot. It heats up with the CO2 laser. So the CO2 laser will cause the glass to heat up a lot more than the UV. The UV is on a different wavelength than the CO2. So you can go like the UV doesn't do a power percentage. It does frequency and speed and pulse or whatever. But it doesn't do power percentage. But you can go a higher basically power with the UV laser because it doesn't heat up the glass as much. If you run a CO2 on glass and you get too powerful, a little too hot, it's going to crack the glass. So you can't, it's not going to cut through the glass. You can't cut it. It's just going to break before it cuts on these types of machines anyway. So got to get the settings right. Take some time. But the UV really, it's like UV does all sorts of different substrates, wood, cork, rubber, acrylic, glass, a little bit of metal. Does a lot of things, but really excels at glass. So it's not a fair comparison. And Vincent, this is glass. This is glass. And slate works awesome. I didn't do slate. Some of the other guys that streamed the last couple days for Monport did some slate, so I didn't do that, but it works. Slate's pretty easy substrate to work with. Wow. I'm pretty impressed with this. This looks really good. This one's, let me do something real quick. There we go. This looks really, really good. Pretty frosty. I'm actually shocked at how good this looks. So CO2 lasers are going to basically micro fracture. They're going to cause little tiny fractures in the glass. It's not like engraving it like on wood, like where it's like vaporizing the wood and burning it, causing like, you know, the engraving to happen, right? But this actually like causes many different tiny little cracks in the glass, and you can feel it a little bit. Like it's not going to cut you or anything like that, but you can feel it. So a good way to post process these is to take a little bit of like 1,000 grit, 2,000 grit sandpaper and just hit it over the top. It's going to help knock down those little burrs, so that way when you touch it, it feels nice and smooth. Right now, I can feel a little bit of a grittiness to it. So you're gonna definitely want to do that. But so it causes those little micro fractures, and you can kind of see it. You can see it in person. The camera doesn't pick it up great, but it's like lots of little dots. But this looks awesome. And what can happen on the CO2 is if you create too many of those fractures, or they're a little too deep, and then you go and clean it, they'll kind of chip off, and instead of being frosty, it'll be like clear, like it won't. There'll be spots on, like if that were to happen in the Merry Christmas, like let's say the sea kind of chipped out a little bit, you'd see like a hole in the sea where it doesn't look frosty. It kind of is more muted. So, wow. I don't even know what to say. This looks really good. All right, David. See you, man. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. We've been here, man, 2 hours. Holy cow. Does anyone have any other questions? I didn't show. I want to do another, at least maybe 1 or 2 more projects. I want to, just in case people want to watch this, tomorrow or something, like, we didn't really do acrylic. We did some, no, we didn't cut any, wait a minute. Yeah, we cut the mirrored acrylic, but let's do like a little keychain. I can take this banner off now. Let me load some clear acrylic in. What's up, Austin? All right, we got some 3 millimeter clear acrylic. I'm going to open up a new file here that I have. And I'll show you what I'm working with here. All right, so little teardrop type of keychain. Black line is our cut. 13 millimeters a second, 45% power. Engraving, 300 millimeters a second, 9% at 0.05 line interval. And again, got there from my testing. I have this inverted. So this is mirrored because I'm engraving on the back side, and as we look through this clear acrylic, it's going to make it look really nice and frosty. So we got our clear acrylic on there. It's brown because it's got a masking film on the back of it. I've got it face up with the acrylic port. The masking is down on the bed. Let's go ahead and start this. Thanks, Harvey. See you later, man. Thank you, Wendy. Come on back later. watch this tomorrow. I want to make sure this is out there for people to see. Plus, we still got 50 in here. I can't believe it. Thank you so much for everyone for watching. Remember, if you're not subscribed to my channel, Brett's Laser Garage, make sure you go and check that out. I got a ton of videos on there, working on more. Just, you know, haven't been a busy month this month working on orders and stuff, but I'm looking to start producing some more videos here in the next week. I've got a bunch written and ready to go. Just got to find the time to get out there and do the work, right? So don't forget to subscribe to Monport Lasers channel as well. They're really stepping up their game and got a lot of new stuff coming out. And Twisted's back. What's up, man? Welcome back. We're doing an acrylic keychain. So our engraved finish, we're doing our cut. You see that thing zipping right along. All right, so I'm just going to peel the back here. Just taking this backing off. Get a little polish. Look at that. Look how good that looks. Getting your line interval correct is really important. Low power. I can't even feel this. You know, obviously this is the front. I'm touching the back as well. Like I could barely feel this engraving on here. I'm just barely kissing it just to mark it. But getting your line interval correct is really important because you don't want to see those lines in it. You just want it to look white, right? Like here's some of my testing. So I can get this on camera good. Especially in the light, you can see, look at the scan lines in here on some of these examples. Obviously the power was too high, so I'm going too deep in some of them, but you know, getting those scan lines down, you can do that a couple ways. So changing your line interval, I tighten up my line interval. What is it? 0.06. Let me check real quick. Yeah, 0.05 millimeters for my line interval. And you can also defocus a little bit if you want. I don't even know if I focused on this one. I might have. Did I focus? I'm not sure if I refocused. I mean, I had similar material. The glass was a similar thickness. I don't think I refocused, but again, I would use that step gauge and just maybe gone up a millimeter. That helps as well because it makes the beam a little bit bigger. So that way it kind of overlaps the line just a little bit, and that gives you that nice crisp line. And then for that nice frosted look, you know. This is what I did earlier. Just threw a keychain on it. So simple things, but I mean, look, you don't have to be selling stuff. I mean, like I sell things, but I also make things just for like that we need. I mean, like it's just fun, you know, like this is for my wife. Like she's going to use it for something. We have all sorts of keys for different lasers and stuff. I mean, you always need keychains. So you can get really creative with these. This is a very, very basic design, but you can get extremely, extremely creative with keychains, tags. There's so many different things if you want to sell, or even if you just want to make stuff for your family, make stuff for your friends. Lots of different possibilities. This machine is really capable. What line interval have you found? So, I mean, on this machine, this is the best that I found. And, you know, I haven't been testing it for weeks or anything like that. I just played around with it for like a couple hours last. You were there when we were playing around with it. But doing those material test cards, you can set up those, you can set up those test cards not only for speed and power, but you can change whatever combination of settings that you want. So you can do speed and line interval, power and line interval. Don't just do speed and power. That's where I start. But if you want to really drill down, get into the line interval as well and run test cards with the line interval, and you'll be able to come out with something like that. And you've been running 0.055. Yeah, I mean, everyone's a little bit different. Your machine, you're using your 90 watt, right? So totally different ball game. You're gonna have a way different settings, but we can all get to the same spot with different machines, but we're just gonna get there slightly different, different settings. So let me see. What haven't I? Let me see what I. Let me check my. Let me check my files here because I made a lot. Let's see what I have. That if there's anything I haven't done. Oh, I know. Let's do this. Okay, we're on acrylic right now. Let me get these out of the way here. Let's do some. Not really a torture test, but let's do a little bit of a sort of a torture test. Let's cut some 1/4 inch. The acrylic clear acrylic I have is 6.5 millimeters. So let's just do a 1 inch by 1 inch square. And I'm going to try it at 5 millimeters a second, 65% power. 65% power is about the maximum that I would want to go on a glass CO2 tube if you want to get the most longevity out of it, right? So I look at it kind of like, let me switch my screen here again. I look at it kind of like, putting gas in your car, driving a car, right? So like if you drive everywhere 90 miles an hour, like you're going to run out of gas a lot quicker compared to if you're like being reasonable, following the speed limits, commuting around, you're going to get more mileage out of your tank than you would if you're pinned the whole time, right? So like the CO2 lasers and really, RF tube lasers are the same way, and CO2 RF lasers the same way. Like if you crank these things up, I mean, there's only a certain amount of gas that's inside of the tubes, and it so depletes every time you use it. It also kind of dissipates a little bit, as it's just sitting there too. They have a shelf life. You can't just have a CO2 tube, a spare one on your shelf for 5 years and throw it in and expect it to be. It may work, but it may not work for that long, because the gas does deplete in it a little bit. So if you're cranking this thing 90% power, 100% power, you can do it, but it's just going to deplete that gas a little bit faster, and you're going to get a much shorter. Well, you're going to get a much shorter length of use out of your tube. So generally, that's the rule of thumb. There's also something called overdriving, where it's a little bit more complicated, but it's just running your laser tube at too high of a power, so like 70, 80, 90% for too long of a time, and it's just going to prematurely deplete the gases in your tube. So I just thought I'd mention that real quick if anyone's curious. All right, well, let's do this. I think this will be our last test here, but let's try 65%, 5 millimeters a second. Another thing I'm going to do, I'm going to bring it to the laser bed. Let's load this up. Okay, so another thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to focus into the material a little bit. I raised the bed about 2 millimeters. And so I raised the bed up about 2 millimeters. That's bringing the material closer to the laser head. And that's bringing the focal point of the laser beam, like the optimal focal point, into the material a little bit. So not just on the top of the material, in the material. Since this is 6.5 millimeters, about like a true 1/4 inch, I want to see if this makes a difference. Because yesterday I tried to cut this at about, I think it was these same settings. I focused at the top and didn't go through. So let's see what happens here. This is, again, 5 millimeters a second, 65% power. Framed. I don't know if that went through. Oh, it did. It did. We cut it. So that's 1 inch square. See if I can show you this. 6.1 millimeters. Let's just check the accuracy too. Tighten that down. 0.9875. By 0.9885. Pretty good little square there. So the accuracy is there, and that could be fine-tuned in Lightburn a little bit too. So, all right, Lori, you're welcome. You're welcome, Lori. Thanks for being here. I'm going to turn my exhaust fan off here. I just got it on a remote. Yeah, I just want to say again, thank you very much to everyone for being here. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of participation. This has been the best stream that I've had, so I really appreciate that. Better than last year's Black Friday stream, so in my opinion. So we want to keep going in the upwards direction, right? I mean, this is a little bit new to me. I'm not a big streamer, so it's just something new to me, and I'm glad everyone had a good time. Thank you again to Monport for sponsoring this whole event, giving away this laser, giving away the Lightburn software, and I'll tell you what, let's do another giveaway. Everyone's here. We got 31 people here still. Let me get my notes back. We talked about metal marking spray. I'm going to give away 3 cans of Monport's metal marking spray. Check this out. As a way of saying thank you to everybody who's stuck around through this whole entire long stream. I'm going to share my screen here. I'm going to go to a website. Okay, so this is what we were talking about. you guys have a if you guys have a CO2 laser or a diode laser for that matter, and you want to mark on the metal, like if you want to do these, tags, Zippos, if you have a rotary, you can throw tumblers on there, flasks. This is a good one, like pet keychain, or not keychains, but come on, baby, load. Pet tags, this metal marking spray, which is about $35, is new. That Monport, is coming out with their own branding of it. So let me get the set. Let me get this set up here. This is new for them, so they wanted to go ahead and give away some of this stuff, and I just want to let you guys have a chance at this because you guys have stuck around. So go ahead and type in #Mark. #Mark. I can put it on the screen here. #Mark. You're left in here still. This will work with diode laser. It'll work with CO2 laser. It's just putting a little coating on, basically on your metal product, like stainless, something like that. It's like a white. It's kind of like a white foamy spray. #Mark. Let's give away 3 cans. Richard, stick around 5 minutes. Okay, who we got here? 13 entries. Oh, we got a good. This is a good chance to win here, man. One more giveaway. But again, thank you for everyone for being here, and I can't say this enough. Thank you to Monport for putting this all together. Looking forward to the mega. Definitely looking forward to the mega, but hey, the Reno Pro it's no joke. How do I get this? That'll work. Yeah, the Reno Pro is no joke. A lot of cool features. I just barely scratched the surface tonight. But we went through a lot. If you're watching this, in the future, I'm going to leave this up. If you're watching this in the future, we'll get this posted on Monport's channel too. Man, this thing can do a lot, and we just barely scratched the surface. We did wood, glass, plywood, MDF, acrylic, mirrored acrylic. Gosh, what else did we do? Oh, aluminum business cards. So many different mediums. But that's CO2 lasers for you. They're kind of a jack of all trades, except for the fact that they can't do metal. But this is going to help with that. And Johnny got a. That's okay, man. Hey, this is a laser show, man. Like Monport put this together, and we love them. But hey, lasers are lasers, right? So you got an Omtech 80 watt. Nice, man. We do a lot with that too. Oh yeah, we did cork. Yep, we did cork too. All right, we got 18 in. Some people might be sleeping, but let's go ahead. Let's start with the first drawing. This is for can of Monport marking spray. First winner is going to be, if I can share my screen, Scott W. Congratulations, Scott. You just won a can of black laser marking spray from Monport, $34.99. Value. Congratulations, Mark. You still here, man? Oh, excuse me, Mark. What am I saying? Scott. I'm thinking of #Mark. All right, Scott. All right. You're here. All right, let's do another one. Printerpron. All right. Oops, I'm gonna get rid of this. Printerpron. Printer. Are you here, Printerpron? Lost my chat. Here we go. Yep, you're here. You just said congrats to Scott. So there you go. You got a new can of marking spray coming. I'm gonna get you the details. Email me, guys. Email me. I'll put that up again here in a second. Here's my email. Email me. I'm gonna give you guys' names to Monport, and they're gonna reach out, send you an email, or give you directions on how to win this. They're probably gonna give you like a coupon code or something. So like they'll email it to you. You just go to the website, put the marking spray in your cart, put in your free marking spray coupon code, or whatever the heck they give you, and that'll get it to you on your way for free. All right, let's do one more. I see lots of new people coming in, coming back. Let's do one more. Okay, so again, this is for a can of black laser marking spray from Monport. It's a new item on their website. It's not a new product in general, but it's new for them to offer, which is cool. They are always continually evolving. I like that about them. All right. The last winner is going to be David. Congratulations, David. I think you left and came back. I think that's the case. Well, congrats. You here, David? You still here? Looks like you just entered. Where are you at, Dave? Oh, yeah. We don't mess around here, man. We don't mess around. David, you hear? David Pingel. There you are. Welcome back. I'm glad you came back. All right, man. So we just gave away 3 cans of Black laser marking spray. Congratulations, David, Scott W., and Printerpron. Also, congrats to R.L. Harvey, Matthias, and Mar for winning the Lightburn Pro codes. And, of course, Luis Lopez is a big winner, winning the Reno Pro 45 tonight. So let me switch this back here, guys and girls. Oops. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I can't say that enough. Great stream. Appreciate everybody. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel, Brett's Laser Garage. Make sure you're subscribed to Monport Laser's channel because we have another stream coming up in about 2 weeks. Sign up for the Facebook group, the Monport Laser Facebook group. There's going to be more details there. Subscribe, or not subscribe, but follow my Instagram page at Brett's Laser Garage, Brett's _ Laser Garage. You'll figure it out. It's not that hard. Search Brett Laser Garage on Instagram. You'll find me. I post like little behind the scenes stuff there, and also like information like that. Like, hey, when we're going live, what are the prizes going to be? So I don't know what we're going to be giving away. We may be giving something away. If Monport doesn't want to give something away, I'll give something away. I guarantee that. So we'll have some sort of giveaway because I want you guys to not only get some knowledge, and I want to learn from you guys too, but want to help out the community by giving you a little something. So a lot of winners today. That's right. A lot of winners today. That's how we do it here. That's how we do it. Appreciate you all. And I'll catch you soon. Good night, everybody. Have a safe weekend. Talk to you later.